Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Prosecutor's Gambit. We are on The Captive Turnabout, Part 2. Now that I've thoroughly been distracted, plow through. Just quietly. Hi, Prosecutor's Office. March 28th. Oh, so it's the next day. Ugh, I still can't believe what happened yesterday. It was terrible the way those two treated you. Now let's cut to the chase. I'm here to clean up your mess, Edgeworth. Crotch goblin. Ugh, damn it. The committee hereby decrees that Prosecutor, he wanted to call him Professor Edgeworth, Prosecutor Edgeworth be relieved of his duties and replaced by Prosecutor Winner. Here ends the verdict. Judge Gavale and Mr. Winner certainly didn't mince their words. That's not what concerns me right now. I'm more worried about the committee's reasons for doing what they did. And what they might do next. I suspect it won't be good. To Mr. Edgeworth, are you listening to me? Huh? Yes, of course. This is it? You're giving up on the Bronco Knight case? No. I have no intention of doing any such thing. To walk away from the case would be to tacitly accept the committee's decision. I'm like, it's not tactfully, because that would be tactfully, and then I read it again. I'm like, oh, it's tacit. Got it. The only problem is that I don't have the authority to continue investigating. Well, go get the authority. The lazy. Yes, what is it, Detective? I've got some bad news, sir. Word down at the precinct is they just arrested somebody for Knight's murder. What? You know who it is? No, but I heard they're being held in the detention center. Maybe you could go talk to whoever it is? Good idea! Let's get down there, Mr. Edgeworth. Without the authority to investigate, surely I can still pay a suspect in it. Visit. Alright, we're on our way. Me too. I'll see you there, sir. But won't you be missed, Detective? Nah, everyone's busy in the prison going over the crime scene anyway. Good, then we'll see you shortly. Yes, sir. You got it. I'm making a mess. That one case from the last game, if you remember, where he got the Swiss rolls from the vending machine, made me want to get some. Because I have no self-control when it comes to damn it. I'm a mess, clearly. Still no sign of them, huh? Indeed. Wait, this is just like last time. Please don't tempt fate like that. No, I can't. I just can't. Sure you can. I told you, it's just a pair of visitors. Sounds like someone really doesn't want to see us. Oh, this guy. Okay, I remember now. Just talk with them, please. But one of them's a prosecutor, right? Aren't they all super scary? Man, I just took a chocolate flake right off. Back. All they do is stare at you right into your soul. Ah, you must be the suspect. See, I told you. Hey, why is this man so flustered? Probably because you're being you. But I guess that's just how you are. You're clearing up absolutely nothing. Hey, Mr. Suspect, you doing okay in there? We just want to have a little chat with you, no biggie, right? Who are you? I'm Kay Faraday, Mr. Edgeworth's trusty sidekick. It's just a part-time gig I'm doing while I take a break from my real job, though. Bonnie, I don't recall ever employing you. And that's Mr. Edgeworth. He is a prosecutor, but he's not going to stare a hole into your soul or anything. Oh. Really? Really? Oh, really? Really? Eek. Anyway, can you first please tell us your name? It's Simeon Saint. Actually, I think that's what his name was in the original, I keep calling it the original, in the fan translation. I'm pretty sure that's what his name was, actually. Or something similar. Simon Keys, that's it. Yep, Simon Keys. So it says Simeon Saint. Cool. Well, nice to meet you, Simeon. You can call me Kay. Everyone else does. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. Please, Simeon, we're trying to help you, I promise. Really? Okay, it sounds like we might finally get answers. Perhaps you could start by telling us a little about yourself. But who, me? Why would anyone want to know anything about me? I'm boring. I'm nothing. I'm a nobody. A nobody? Where's his heartless? Do you have a job? Oh, well, it's hardly worth mentioning, really. I'm your average corporate pencil pusher, just like everyone else, I promise. Honest. This is gonna take a while. About you and Mr. Knight. That's when I thought we were making progress. Okay. So, Simeon, did you know Mr. Knight? Come on, you can tell me. Bronco? Yeah, I knew him. We were friends. Interesting. I wonder if you knew that Knight had been arrested. And, did you know Mr. Knight had been arrested? Yeah, I even came to visit him. Came to see Knight? Wonder when that would have been. And when was that, Simeon? It was the day before yesterday, around lunchtime. I came as soon as I got the call from the cops. Police called him? Why? How come the police called you? They said Bronco asked them to, but he needed a favor. A favor? Uh-huh. He wanted me to bring him his chess set, the pocket-sized one. I went by his place, and then I came here. A chess set? A chess set? Is me, or is she getting better at stealing my thoughts? You do know everything you think is written all over your face, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah, I'm not a mind reader, just an expression reader. Amazing, right? Don't you love having a sidekick as helpful as me? Have you read what my next move is going to be? I sure have. There's something you want to show, Simeon. Dude, let's present it to him and see what he has to say about it. Disposition. Come on, hurry up and open the class. This is a murder investigation. You sound like a child on Christmas night. Oh, please, even your heart must skip with me. You're about to open a mysterious box. Not all of us think like you, Kay, thankfully. Not yet, anyway. Oh, shit, I went to... So this chess set... Oh, that's the one I brought for Bronco. Well, that settles that at least. Pocket chess set. So Saint, is he... He, found it next to Mr. Knight. He always had to have a chessboard somewhere nearby. I'm not surprised he had it with him when he... Mr. Knight, you were very close, weren't you? Hey, Mage, okay. Yeah, we were best friends. At least, thought we were. They were roommates. But I guess I was wrong about that. What do you mean? If I knew him so well, why was it such a shock for me to find out he had killed someone? It's not easy discovering that someone you're close to has committed a terrible crime. Very bitter pill to swallow indeed. How could it all end like this? I could never have imagined something so awful. Something's not right here, Mr. Edgeworth. There's just no way, Simeon. Yes. He certainly doesn't seem to have an obvious motive. Then again, he wouldn't have been arrested for no reason. I wonder what grounds they had for doing so. Damn it! Clicked on the wrong thing. This is not what I wanted to happen. Why were you arrested, Mr. Saint? I just don't get it. Why won't he talk to me? I don't know. Honestly, I don't. Whoa, he answered me, Mr. Edgeworth. I guess he's not scared of you anymore. Goodness for small miracles. The cops burst into my house this morning out of nowhere. And before I knew it, I was here. These policemen. Was there a prosecutor with them? Yes, some kid named DeWiener or something. DeWiener? DeWiener? The Rucku. I thought as much. That's a reference to the best thing, I bet you. I wonder if they did that on purpose. So, they interrogate you yet? What? I'm going to be interrogated? By the cops? Well, yeah, I mean, you've been arrested. You're a suspect. No. Well, the detective shout at me and threaten me and oh. There are always these hulking guys, right? Who get in your face and force you to... Detective Dick Gumshoe reporting for duty. See? I told you. Please don't hurt me. Please don't crush me with those huge arms. Ooh, or do. How about your thighs? No, please. I'm calling the cops. Oh, gummy. What's up with this guy, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, nothing, detective. You're just being you. I guess it's just how you are. I don't get it, sir. Look, Mr. Edgeworth, Simeon is clearly innocent. So there's gotta be something we can do for him, isn't there? Mr. Saint. Oh, Mr. Saint? Yes? You were Mr. Knight's friend, and 2 days ago you came to visit him. You had nothing at all to do with his murder. Am I understanding correct? Yes, I didn't kill anybody. Very well, then I will choose to believe you, and I will do all that I can to assist you. Huh? Why would you help a nobody like me? Let's just say that I may not be doing it solely for your sake. I have something of a personal interest in this case. That's right, it's payback time. We'll show those two whose investigation reigns supreme. Ooh yeah, now we're cooking. Unfortunately, I still lack the authority to conduct said investigation. As such, my resources are rather limited, and I'll need to lean heavily on the ones I do have in hand. Which means you, Mr. Saint. Your information will be invaluable going forward. In other words, let's see if we can't help one another out, shall we? Oh, I just thought of something. Why don't you just borrow an attorney's badge? Then you could represent our pal here. Now's not the time for jokes, Gummy. I mean, Mr. Edgeworth is a prosecutor. He couldn't defend anyone if his life depended on it. But I wasn't kidding. I just thought helping suspects, that's what a defense attorney does, you know? Sure, but we can do that too. The only thing that matters is that we find the real culprit in the end. That actually would be kind of interesting if, like, switch sides. So come on, let's get to work. Yes, ma'am. I'm sure you know already, but just to be clear, if our investigation ultimately proves you to be the culprit, we'll have no choice but to treat you like any other suspect. But you needn't worry. I believe you, or at least I have decided to try, for now. Okay, Edgeworth, you're making it worse, buddy. Just hold tight and try to believe in us in return. If nothing else, it might help you to feel a little less alone. Now, if you'll excuse me. Your life, your choice. I mean, for a prison, I'm not mad at that. So, we talked a good game in there. But we can't even get back inside the main prison to see the scene of the crime. Maybe defending the guy in court is our best bet after all. Gummy, he can't defend for his life, remember? Well, who do we have here? If it isn't Edgeworth in the gang, what are you cats doing here? Listen, pal, if you come to harass Mr. Edgeworth again, I'll... Hey, easy there, Detective Flatfoot Sholmes. I'm here to work. Work? What, you're here to defend somebody? Oh, the K-Meister nails it in one! Aren't you just the uber intelligent one of the bunch? Yeah?
Intelligentes.
Uber intelligentes. Intelligente. Oh, the badge. Uber Uber intelligent. I already forget what I said the first time around. That's not how you use either of those words, Fender. Some may say I'm an easygoing old rogue about town, but I'm actually not a half-bad attorney, which is why I've been summoned to the old jail-a-rooney for a meeting with a new client. The suspect is one Simone Sainsbury. You mean Simeon Saint? Oh, that's freaky. You know more about my job than I do. Wait, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Fender's a defense attorney. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Fear it might be. In fact, it could be our only option. Not so long ago, I found myself embroiled in another case that wasn't mine. I managed to worm my way into the crime scene by agreeing to be someone's subordinate. Not an experience I ever wanted to repeat, but I fear I may have little choice. Franziska. Yeah, but Franziska's she wasn't about to not let you. She's one of my favorite characters in the series, don't get me wrong, but she's a bitch. Fender, before you say another word, I just gotta point out the fine print. Eddie Fender doesn't take on associates. Say it ain't so. I hear you protesting, but pompous prosecutors are a no-go. Especially those of the Von Karma variety. I should have known. Forgive me that easily. I understand why you wouldn't want to work with someone like me. What's more, I understand how you feel about all things Von Karma. But please, believe me when I say, I'm not the man I was back then, and I'm no longer under my old mentor's spell. You better believe it, pal. Mr. Edgeworth's a changed man. Sure, he used to be the demon prosecutor, but he's not like that anymore. You have feelings, Detective. Demi's right. Mr. Edgeworth's one of the good guys now. He's not just a prosecutor, he's a hero. He got me off the hook just last month. You don't say. Well, that escalated quickly. But he was. There's no other word for it. He was heroic. Great thiefly, even. Girl. Please, Fender. Don't you think there's something odd about the way the committee stepped in yesterday? There's more to this case than meets the eye. I'm certain of it. I just can't walk away from this. I can't. Please allow me to help you with this investigation. Sheesh. A bow from the great Miles Edgeworth. Never thought I'd see the day, but here we are. So enlighten me, if you will. What made the leopard change his spots? Well, I suppose I would have to say the courtroom itself. I've experienced so many things and met so many people there within its four walls, including some old friends who showed me a better way to be. How could that not change a person? Well, I'll be. The old you would never bare his soul like that. That was beautiful. Might have even surprised you know who, and you know how much that takes. Tell you what, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start again with a clean slate. So, this is me. Edgeworth and Co-Law Offices. Eddie Fender, Senior Partner. Edgeworth? That's right. Mr. Fender here began his legal career as an assistant to my late father, Gregory Edgeworth. What? Your dad was a defense attorney? So, you know who Mr. Fender keeps talking about is... The clever K-Meister nails it and won yet again. That's right, I was talking about his old man. Guess you all noticed I kept his name over the door, so to speak. Least I could do for old Gregory, really. Listen, Edgeworth. Miles. I'm going to level with you here. I don't trust you. Not fully, anyway. I just can't forget about all those years you spent licking Von Karma's boobs, you know? Barely. Anyone can say they've changed. I'm gonna need you to prove it. And besides, you know it's what Gregory would have wanted. Very well. I accept. Okay. Then that's enough hardball for one day. Let's move on to the fun stuff. I hereby appoint you interim associate of Edgeworth & Co. Congrats! Edgeworth & Co. Congrats, man. I will try not to let you down. Well, doesn't this bring a tear to the eye? Prodigal son coming on board at his late father's firm. Permission to come on board too? Please, Mr. Fender? You don't even have to ask, kiddo. Welcome to the crew. Woohoo! Thanks, Captain. Alright. I guess it's time to go to work. So, any bright ideas, Miles? Where were we when we were so rudely interrupted? Well, I guess it's safe to say that probably wasn't the victim. Indeed, it sounds more likely to have been the person who found his body. I believe we need to speak with the person who found the body. Just what I was thinking, eager associate. We do indeed. So the type of smile and nod I see will certainly make my life easier, boss. Now that that's decided, let's get going. What about me? I'm a detective. I can't just hop on board as an attorney's assistant like you guys. He has a point. I can't leave him adrift all on his own now, can I? Detective Gumshoe, I have a special assignment for you. You are to continue investigating the case under Mr. Winter. And if you happen to discover anything that seems useful, you are to notify me immediately. You're in a uniquely powerful position, Detective, and I'm going to need all the info you can pass our way. You can count on me, sir. I'm a real pro when it comes to letting things slip to the defense. Trust me, I know. Just this once, those loose lips of yours might be what saves our ship. Your special assignment is to lick these balls. Throw wide the prison gates, good sirs, because here we come. I'm not practicing as a prosecutor. It's all... Oh, the horse is still there. It's the pony. Hey, pony, come. So any idea on how we track down whoever found the Bronxter's body, Miles? I think our best bet would be to simply ask around. Oh, don't you dare. Oh, don't you dare. She has to talk like that, right? Like the stuffy. What is this? Excuse me, but... Oh, my. Just look at you. Are you talking to me? Just fabulously chic, darling. Fabulously. Facial hair is so very au courant, don't you think? I don't know what the fuck that means. Au courant? That is clearly French. What? Oh, it's current. Au courant. Don't you think? Enchanté, mademoiselle. Much obliged. Defense attorney Eddie Fender at your service. I like him. I really do. Let's get things off on the right foot, shall we? A little embrasser, perhaps? Oh, ho, ho, ho. I like the sound of that. Oh, girl. Right on the kisser. Well, how else does one greet a new friend? A little smooch is entirely de rigueur, don't you think? Wow, she talk about stealing a kiss. Indeed, an act so shameless it puts even great thieves to shame. I love him around her neck too. The animals in this one are so cute. Physical contact is so very important as a form of expression in our little family. Everyone in this lovely home will tell you as much. Hey, if everyone else is hip to that, I can be hip to that too. Sure. Girl, she would wreck you. Fifi Lagarde, by the way. Warden of this charming abode. Fifi Lagarde. I love that name, but what was her name in the translation? Lagarde. Fifi Lagarde. She is... Oh yeah, Patricia Rowland. Yeah, I'm glad they changed this one. Is she French? I would like her to be French. I don't think I can do a French accent. You may call me Fifi, of course. Because she's the warden of the entire detention center and prison facility, is she? A pleasure to meet you, Miss Lagarde. Miles Edgeworth. I'm an associate with Mr. Fender's practice. I hope you don't mind me asking, but were you here in the prison yesterday? Oh, don't be silly, darling. Of course I was. Yesterday was a very important day, after all. Important in what way, exactly? A big meeting of some kind, perhaps? A meeting? Oh, heavens, no. I couldn't think of anything worse. No, yesterday, the circus came to visit. I remember that song. It was a simply spectacular event featuring some terrifically talented animals. Anyone who was anyone had to be there. You were here at home. You were watching the show with me. The performers set up a special stage in the yard just for us. We are one very lucky family, n'est-ce pas? So she was at this circus performance for the inmates yesterday morning. Mr. Carcerado mentioned the show yesterday as well. Must have been talking about the same thing. What time did this show take place? From around 8 until 10? Yeah, something like that. Yes, something like that. Meeting it finished right around when the body was discovered. By dint of having attended the show, she has a blood alibi. Oh, would you look at the time? Sorry, darlings, but I really must dash. Feel free to explore our home. Mi casa, su casa, and all that. Ciao for now. Okay, bye-bye. Well, what now, Mr. Edgeworth? The person who found the body screamed. That scream was heard by one inmate that we know of. Therefore, our first task is to question this inmate and see where his information will take us next. Hold on, I went to a school. Why don't I talk to the horsey? It's a pony. They even have ponies. This one's big enough to carry a small child. Isn't this great, Mr. Edgeworth? It's like being at the zoo. Because it's the humans, not the animals who live in captivity here. No one would mind if I took one home with me, would they? By home behind bars? Then no, I suppose not. There's a piggy! It's a mini pig, I believe. Though not for eating, I hope. Isn't this great, Mr. Edgeworth? We're being in the zoo, except it's not By home, I mean behind bars, I suppose not. And a monkey, and a kitty, and a bunny. I need to stop interacting with all the animals. Now, what does that box say? There's something written here. It to be about the prisoner in this cell. Prisoner number D258. Classification Captivus periculosus. He may look fearsome, but this lively fellow is actually a sweet-natured herbivore. He even has a pet penguin named Winnie. Where's the penguin? He's skilled at giving such real, gripping testimony. You'll swear you were there at the crime scene, too. The end. It's the kind of thing you might expect to read in a zoo, not a prison. I'd like that. Wait, I want to read this one. Oh, it's a blurb about the guy in this cell. Let's see what it says. Prisoner number D259. Classification, habitat, see cell to the right. Not exactly helpful. This grizzly fellow has a pet polar bear named Teddy. He's a former boxer who loves to stay trim and is always at optimum fighting weight. He may push his body to the max, but he's relentlessly kind to himself. Omnivore. Who exactly is all this information for anyway? I don't know, but I fucking love it. Go visit the jail and read all about him on Blacks. I love it. About the person who found the body. Do you happen to know where he is right now? Should be in one of the workshops, I guess. Usually is at this hour. Then it seems the workshops are our next port of call. We don't want to talk to the kitty. You have a moment. We have a few questions for you. Oh, who's a good girl you are? You're just perfect. She really is. She's beautiful. Meow. She's finally noticed me, I think. I was wondering, what's her name? It's Waggy, ma'am. She's my little friend. She's my little friend. Yes, right. As you were then. But I need her answers, not clawful. I don't want to talk to the bunny now. Why is there a rabbit? I nearly tripped over it. Hey, great, Mr. I can see the crime scene through the window in this door. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just shove your whole face in front of the window like that. You have to do it more sneaky-like. Do a few good looks while keeping a lookout for your enemies. I am not a criminal, Kay, so why should I have to behave like one? Yeesh, I was just trying to teach you my special sneak peek technique. Sneak peek technique, I love that, that's satisfying. Well, I have no need for any such technique, thank you very much. Hello? Anybody in there? Nice try, kiddo, but this isn't a bathroom stall. Yo, you there. Can you help us out here, my good man? Yes, sir. What can I do for you? Somebody using this workshop right now? Yes, sir. One of the prisoners is in there. Confirmed it myself during the noontime roll call. I'd like to speak to this prisoner, if that's all right. Sure, I'll go fetch him right now. Won't take but a second. All yours, Milesy boy. What? Why? Let's just say I'd rather not roll the dice with someone I don't know. Huh. I thought adults were all supposed to be strong and brave. You're not even looking so brave yourself right now. Let's call it even. Here they come. Dun, dun, dun. Hello, hello. Yes, hello. I hear you wish to speak with me. If you've ever played the original trilogy, you know who this is. Not exactly the hardened criminal we were expecting, is he? My name is Miles Edgeworth. I'm a public prosecutor. A prosecutor, you say? Hold it. Eddie Fender, attorney at law. Happen to be too scared to handle this? You're the dumbass that said you're a prosecutor. Listen, sorry about my pal here. He gets the weirdest ideas. Prosecutor, indeed. That'll be the day. He's actually just an associate. Jeez, Miles, get a grip, will ya? He's right. I mustn't forget that I'm a defense attorney's assistant for the time being. Ah, that explains it. I did think you looked a little different from the prosecutor I spoke with yesterday. I've already spoken to Winter. Do you mind answering a few questions? No, of course not. I'd be delighted. The name's Sawit. Frank Sawit. The witness is all yours, my young associate. Oh yeah? I don't think Edgeworth was the prosecutor on that case, was he? It was that one guy from the park in the last one. Sure, have the intern do everything. Why not? Mr. Sawit, you are no doubt aware that a murder took place yesterday. Would you mind telling us where you were at the time the body was found? Yes, I was in that workshop there. Working as one might expect. What kind of work were you doing? Well, I'm actually retraining at the moment. I'm hoping to become a stylist, you see. A pet stylist, that is, yes. So I've been studying hard and practicing every moment I can. An unusual field of study, befitting an unusual prison, I suppose. And that's it? I certainly didn't see anything interesting. Barely asked him anything at all, and he's already sweating bullets. So, yes, I'm afraid I won't be able to help you. Sorry.
Hold it!
No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Sawit. But this interview has only just begun. I mean, even if you were to ask me, you know something, don't you? That's... He's definitely hiding something. I'll need to push him a little harder if I'm to get any answers. Time for... mind chess. The first step is to analyze the situation. Let's take a look at our opponent. 3. I didn't see anything. I really can't help you, I'm afraid. Something tells me he'd be a good poker player. It's hard to tell much at all from his face. I don't think he'll be giving me much in the way of physical cues either. I'll have to rely solely on his words instead. That's the only way I'll know what's going on underneath. Alright, time to make my first move. Let's see who we're dealing with. Maybe I'm hiding his emotions, but everyone has a tell. Like chess. I wish it was still called logic chess, I'm not gonna lie. Tell me. What's your connection to this incident? Which incident? The murder? Oh, well, it has nothing at all to do with me. Nothing. Really? I wouldn't dream of getting involved in anything as ghastly as that. Well, you see, how can I put this? I like to think of myself as an upstanding citizen. A good person, if you will. Well, then why did you bludgeon that model's head? Forgive me, Mr. Sawit. But under normal circumstances, good people do not tend to end up in prison. So, you do well to tell me what you know about the incident. How many times do I have to tell you people? I mean, I don't know anything, I swear. Sorry, I don't know what more to say, but I can't help you. My apologies, Mr. Sawit. But considering that the incident occurred right here in the prison, I find it very hard to believe that you know nothing at all. Oh, well, yes, I suppose I can see how it might seem unlikely, but it's true. If you're looking for the person who found the body, you'll have to look elsewhere. Why do you think I'm looking for the person who found the body? I certainly never mentioned any such thing to you. Is it because you do know something you're not telling me after all? No, I just sensed that's who you might be looking for, that's all. I'm simply a pet stylist in training. I don't know anything, truly. There's no doubt about it now. This is getting some big. Case, let's find out what he did yesterday, the day of the incident. My opponent is very good at hiding his true feelings. It's time to smash that mask of his and see what lurks behind that funny smile. Oh, he does look like the happy mask salesman. Tell me about the day of the incident. If you really don't have anything to do with the murder, then you have nothing to hide, right? Well, the day of the incident? Oh gosh, I mean, so much happened. I want to know what you were doing, Mr. Saw, in detail. I told you, I'm a pet stylist in training. And that's what I was doing yesterday, training. Specifically, I was giving the animals a trim. You didn't notice any commotion at the time of the incident? I would imagine things were suddenly quite tumultuous around here. Well, commotion, you say? No, not really. Maybe I heard someone, but... You heard someone? Was this someone screaming by any chance? Don't try to tell me you don't remember. You continue to assert that you know nothing about the incident, Mr. Solid. But I'm afraid I don't believe a word of it. Yeah. No, I thought I heard someone yelling, but I don't really remember. The fact that he heard a scream at all. The fact that he heard a scream at the time of the murder may well... I would do well to bear it in mind. Tell me about the day of the incident. If you really don't have anything to hide with the murder, you have nothing... You really don't have anything to do with the murder. You have nothing to hide, right? Well, the day of the incident? Oh gosh, I mean, so much happened. What was it like here in the prison yesterday morning? I really don't remember. I don't have the best memory, I'm afraid. You don't remember? Please. You literally just confirmed that you heard a scream. Oh, but I might have been mistaken. The truth is, I really don't remember. Memory fails you yet again? How convenient, but I know you're lying. How dare you talk to me like... I mean, I'm not lying. Look, if you must know, when I'm working with the animals and I get into the zone, they're all I see. I understand that you have some kind of a talent for animals. Well, my scissor technique could use a little work. But I'd say I'm quite good with the animals. They seem to like me. I'm especially good at calming them down when they get scared. Scared? And when exactly do they get scared? Surely it doesn't happen very often. Well, that's... no, thankfully it doesn't. A loud scream would certainly frighten the animals, wouldn't it? Why are you going to such lengths to deny having heard the scream? What is it you're hiding, Mr. Sawit? Tell me. Yeah. I can assure you I'm not hiding anything. I'll admit I did really hear someone scream, but I'm not hiding anything, I promise. The mask is finally beginning to crack. Now to shatter it completely by asking about the scream itself in more detail. You're gonna get a full health bar again. I'm afraid you're about to learn a painful lesson, Mr. Sawit, that hiding things from me never ends well for my opponent. When did you hear this scream? Oh, wait. Now I remember. I forgot about the show. They put on a show for us prisoners around the time of the incident, you see. Yes, performing animals, if I remember rightly. And that's where I was in the morning. So now you wish to claim that you didn't hear a scream because you were at the show? You do realize that goes completely against everything you've told me so far. And what are you going to do about it, huh? That is, my memory is patchy, as they say. whole show really had to be seen to be believed. It did it? Tell me, what kind of animals did you see? Let me... A whale? Enough of your lies. You were nowhere near the show, were you? How the hell did we get a whale there? Well, I seem to remember being there, but maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. It's clear Mr. Salt wasn't at the show. This feels like a vital clue. Who did you hear screaming? Wait, I just realized I made a mistake. When the incident happened, I was out in the yard, yes. So when I didn't hear anyone screaming, no one at all. I'm gonna play it. How long are you planning to keep up these lies? I already know that you weren't at the show. Yeah! The game's up, Mr. Sawit. It's high time you told me the truth. I demand to know this about this scream. Now. I can't tell you what I don't know. I didn't hear any scream. Not from the person who found the body. How curious. Most people would assume that the scream had come from the victim. Well then, why do you think it came from the person who found the body? Yeah, I made a mistake, that's all. How, Mr. Sawit? How did you know that it was the person who found the body who screamed? Oh, music stopped. Shall I tell you? You knew because it was you who found the body. And the scream that was heard when the incident occurred didn't come from the victim. It came from you. Yeah! How did you... It's true, I admit it, but what gives you the right to treat people like this? Checkmate. Grimy motherfucker. Now that we've established that you were the one who found the body, Mr. Sawyer, I believe you've lost any standing you might have had to withhold your cooperation. You win. But I'm sure I won't have anything useful to tell you. It probably isn't even worth your time. That's not for you to decide. By my hand, the truth will be revealed. Every decision I make is to ensure that end. Except that's not exactly what we're here to do. What do you mean? We're not trying to expose the truth. We're trying to save Simeon. That's what we do now, remember? We work to get our client out of trouble. Not as a prosecutor, but as defense attorney's assistant. What the K-Meister said. You need to listen to the kid more, you know. The client has requested the services of Edward & Co. And, as your old man always said, your relationship with your client comes before anything else. So if you think Mr. Sate's well-being is taking the back seat to some quest for the truth, well, let's just say I don't like to fire people, so I need you to fight against your instincts a little harder, yeah? This will take some getting used to. In any case, the importance of this man's testimony remains unchanged. Therefore, Mr. Sawit, I'm asking once more. What happened when you found the body? Dude, you're already in jail. Like, give it up. I was in that workshop there by myself, practicing what I'd learned. I don't remember how, but I found myself in front of the door to the other workshop. I happened to peek in through the little window. And then I saw him lying there, a man, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself screaming in sheer terror. There. Let me get this straight. Sell. Buy. Workshop A, Workshop B. I'm assuming those are stairs. What the prison? Yes, that's right. I was in Workshop B. You were there the whole day? Yes, from 7 a.m. roll call onwards. There are 3 roll calls a day, you see. 7 a.m., noon, and 9 p.m. 5 hours, then 9 hours. And then 10 hours. Those are some weird times. They should do like 7, 1. And they check who's in the workshops during roll call, correct? That's right. Nothing was reported to be amiss at 7 a.m., which means that Knight's body wasn't in the workshop yet at that point in time. Prison roll call. Guess that means the murder took place after 7 a.m., which puts it right around the time the show was happening. Ah, yes, the show. I remember the other prisoners going to see it. Therefore, anybody who wasn't at the show has no alibi. Would that be a fair assessment, Mr. Saw? I guess so, but I only found the body, I swear. There's a clear contradiction in Mr. Saw's testimony. Rooting it out should be my first priority.
Hold it!
Damn it, I hit the wrong side. Does that mean you didn't get a good look inside? No, I couldn't. The window was not only small, but it had bars over it, you see. Not exactly a panoramic view. They're just so the guards can check what's going on, right? That's right. Yes, you are very knowledgeable. You bet! I guess you could say I know a little something about prisons now, too. I'll have to remind myself to address this newfound interest later. Anyway, yes, I peeked through the little window in the workshop door. Objection! Enough of these pathetic lies, Mr. Sawit. I'm afraid you've rather lost sight of what you are. What I am? I know precisely what I am. I'm a former newspaper salesman who's training to be a pet star.
Hold it!
But that's not all you are, is it? Or did you forget the bracelet you wear around your wrist? A bracelet that marks you as a prisoner and therefore unable to move around as you please. As we both know, stepping outside that door would have sounded an alarm. Well, there's no way you could have looked into the other workshop without leaving the room you were in. Ah. Ooh-wee, stylishly done, Edgeroot. But doesn't this mean that Mr. Sawit couldn't have found the body then? Good question, Kay. Perhaps Mr. Sawit himself can explain. So actually, I may have forgotten to mention one very important detail. Sorry about that. Oh, this motherfucker. I can explain exactly how I was able to see the body if you like. If you please. By all means, go ahead. There's a little trick we prisoners know about, you see. As long as you leave your bracelet inside the door, you can lean without triggering the alarm. That's how I was able to peek through the window and get into the... into the workshop next door. Inside, I spotted the victim's dead body, which made me scream in fright. So he's saying... he was able to take a look next door because he had kept his arm inside Workshop B as he leaned out? Please don't tell anyone about our little trick, especially not the guards, please. See, that is a big deal. It's not like he can leave, like, he's still bound. I don't, whatever. Is this it? Is all he was hiding? I'd better dig a little deeper into his testimony, just in case. There's a little trick we prisoners know about, you see. If you please.
Hold it!
Hold it. Why did you make so much of an effort just to take a look? Well, you see, I heard noises coming from next door. And that room was supposed to be empty, so I thought it was strange. And you went to look as soon as you heard these noises? Yes, of course. I had to see what was going on, so I went right away. I see. Are there any problems with what Mr. Sawa just said? I'm gonna assume yes. There is a problem. There's a problem. You're the problem! You claim that you looked into the next room as soon as you heard some noise. If that's the case, you must have seen more than just a dead body, because the person who made the noises should have been in there too. You've got him quaking in his boots, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Sot, tell us the truth about what you saw. You do, of course, have the right to remain silent, but it will do little to dispel the notion that you were somehow involved in this crime. I'm sorry. I did see something else, but it's too insane to believe. I really thought I might have dreamt it. That's why I wasn't sure if I should mention it. Just tell us what you saw. Alright, it was that dog. And what I saw is the stuff of nightmares. That huge black dog had sunk his terrible teeth into the victim's throat. I have such an issue with anything to do with the neck and head. I can't handle it. Oh, I cannot handle this. What did you just say? It was hellish. Utterly hellish. That beast, that awful beast, he killed him. Suddenly I don't feel so good. Girl saying, Jeepers creepers, that's awful. Talk about traumatizing. It was dreadful. Horrible. Now you know why I couldn't help but scream. So there's a man-eating dog in the prison's animal population, is there? Oh, my neck hurts. That really is everything, I promise. You believe me, don't you? Oh. I can't handle this. I might need to take a break soon. I hope this episode ends soon. For now, this one seems too far-fetched a lie, even for you. I'd like you to append what you just told us to your testimony, if you don't mind. Very well.
Hold it!
I can't handle this. I cannot handle this. Oh, you're sure this black dog was biting the victim's throat? Yes, there was blood everywhere. His mouth was dripping with it, and whoa. Spare us the gory details, will you please? Thank you. I think this game is only rated, what, T? What about the victim? Was he... Oh, I do have it right here. Yeah, it's only rated T. No more. Although, for mild violence and blood. Don't say it, don't say it. Do you really need to ask him that, Mr. Edgeworth? Okay, what was that punch for? I'm on your side here. He wasn't moving at all. He was just lying there. And he was already dead. There was so much blood just oozing from his neck. Oh, he was dead as a doornail, I'm sure of that. Not even the twitch of a finger, just like, it's like fucked up. Oh! God. I swear I'm not squeamish normally. Eek, enough already. Why'd you have to go into every little detail like that? To give you a nice and accurate testimony. That is what you want, isn't it? Shall I add what I've said to my testimony, Mr. Edgeworth? Please do. It was awful, I tell you. Terrible. I remember seeing his ring gleaming as it caught the light. It featured a snowflake motif in relief. That's new information. Oh, we have the... Oh, no, we don't have the ring, do we? What the fuck? Oh.
Objection!
I want a snowflake ring. It'll a ring with a snowflake relief? Yeah, I saw it clear as day. It was carved in such fine detail. Interesting. Your testimony is certainly very accurate. In fact, I'd say it's just a little too accurate. And? What's wrong with being too accurate? I mean this. You testified to having seen a ring with a snowflake design on it. And while the victim did indeed have a ring on his finger... See? Exactly as I said. There is no way you could have seen it. Take a look at this photograph. As you can see, the victim's right hand was covered by a tarp. It would have been impossible for you to see his ring, let alone what design was on it. Unless, that is, you approached the body and removed the sheet. You told us earlier that you only took a look through the window in the door. Yet you seem to have seen quite a lot from such a disadvantaged location, Mr. Sot. Who the heck do you think you are, huh? Mr. Big Shot, acting like you know it all. I mean, I saw what I saw, I swear. Oh, I know, that man's arm. It must have moved under that tarp after I peeked in.
Objection!
Nonsense. You already told us that can't have been the case. He wasn't moving at all. He was just lying there. You said it yourself that the victim was already dead. And dead men don't move, do they? Ooh-wee, is that the stench of eau de desperation I smell? Eau de desperation? I love that so much. What are you hiding, Mr. Sot? Tell us. No, You're wrong. I know what I saw. Yeah. Oh. You couldn't let it go, could you? Had to keep on poking and prodding. You slimy two-bit associate attorney! The real Mr. Sawat has finally revealed himself. Whoa, that's quite the rug he was rocking. Came straight at you like some kind of flying black cat. Look, I'm just a sweet, innocent victim or witness here. But are you really? Because I must say, I have doubts. Some very serious doubts. What's that supposed to mean? You saw something that should have been impossible to see from outside the workshop. So, how did you do it? That's simple. Mr. Sot, this is where you were standing when you saw the body. Workshop A, right?
Take that!
You were in the same room as the body. That's the only way you could have seen the relief on the ring. Say what you want, but you don't have a shred of evidence, do you? Nothing to prove I was in the room with the body anyway. You can't prove it, can you? Because I was in the next room over, minding my own business and looking after the animals. Why else would I have signed out a pair of rubber gloves? For fun? Now, stop or shut up. I want to see evidence that proves I was in that room with the body. I'm gonna assume it's this glove, right? Yeah.
Take that!
Remind me, Mr. Sawit, what were you doing when you discovered the body? How many times do I was practicing my pet styling techniques. Of course. And perhaps this rubber glove might mean something to you? That's... This glove was found by the victim's body. I believe it was dropped by the killer. And I can't help but notice that you have a similar glove tucked into your apron. No, this one's different.
Hold it!
Yes, that one does seem awfully lonely, doesn't it? Hold it! It's just a rubber glove. There are hundreds of them all over the prison. This doesn't prove anything.
Objection!
Not yet, perhaps, but if I were to ask the police to check this glove for prints, I have a feeling the results would be rather fascinating. Why did it just, like, change color? It's over.
Objection!
What the? That was a pretty rad objection, am I right? Please, Fender, now is not the time for tomfoolery. But I have a legit objection, because this isn't over. There's something that still doesn't make sense. Our man here's a prisoner, right? And he's got one of those bracelet doohickeys on. That's true. So how could he have left his workshop in the first place? His bracelet would have triggered the alarm if he tried. Right. We don't have a good explanation for that yet. Well, anything you'd like to share, good buddy? We're all friends here. That's weird. He should be climbing onto that bracelet like the big round lifesaver it is. Would that be clinging, or is climbing a word? Am I illiterate? Climbing. Cling. I mean, it could be clinging, but I guess climbing is not wrong either. Interesting. See, you learn new words when you play a game about a Poindexter. In what way? As in, it's the best hope of our wig-flinging friend here has getting off the hook for murder. Sorry, can't get into the crime scene with a bracelet on. If it was me, I'd be arguing that for my life. And yet he hasn't said a peep about it. I wonder why that might be. Sound of silence. I suppose Miss Law Priestess did preach that silence is golden yesterday, too. Whoa, you sounded like an actual attorney for a second there, Mr. Fender. The worst of times are when lawyers calmly show our biggest smiles. Gregory taught me that. It was part of the attorney's code he lived by. So, friend, what's the dealio? Why so coy about your bracelets? Where does hair come from? Well, to tell you the truth, it's broken. Broken? I fell over a little while back, you see, and hit it on the floor. After that, it didn't seem to set the sensors off anymore. I should have told the guards about it, I know, but, well, it was awfully convenient. Frankly, I wouldn't have told anybody either. If I was a prisoner, come on now. I see, so your bracelet is broken. Do they really break that easily? If so, then this prison has a serious security problem. Right, because if I was also a prisoner, I'd be like, oh, look, it's broken. You there. Could we have a moment? Oh, he's back with the kitty. Aw, aren't you just the cutest? Meow. How can I help you, sir? This prisoner's bracelet appears to be broken. What? Really? That's not good. I'll get someone to find a replacement right away. Thank you. We'll keep hold of the broken one for the time being. course, sir. I trust you'll take good care of it. Sure, you can just have the fucking security bracelet. Why the hell not? No. Sweet. Bracelet sorted. Now, to turn our murder in, yes? What? No, I didn't kill anybody. Whoa there, Paleo. You were the one who said your bracelet was out of commission. Or were there other inmates freely roaming the halls while everyone was busy watching the show? No, I just found the body. That's all, I promise. And when I did, that enormous dog still had his mouth wrapped around the poor man's neck. God, you stop bringing that up. I only went into the workshop after the beast had left. Why did you go in? Well, oh, fine. I wanted to go through his pockets, okay? Going to rob the corpse? That's unsightly. Explain why he remembers Knight's ring in so much detail. Hey, why are you looking at me like that? I'm a great thief. I'd never stoop as low to steal from a... I didn't steal anything either. The show ended just after I'd entered the room, and all the other inmates came trickling down the stairs thereafter. I panicked, rushed back to the other workshop, and started my fake screaming. I dropped the glove in your haste, huh? Ah, that explains why it was... He did say it landed in the blood earlier. I guess this all just about hangs together. Anything smell funky to you, Miles? Other than whether Mr. Salt is the one who did it, I'd say one very significant question still remains. The question of how Knight made it into the prison proper from his holding cell in the detention center. Ooh, yeah, that one's a doozy. I can't help but wonder about another key feature of Mr. Solid's testimony. That dog's involvement can only mean one thing. Mr. Solid? Yes? What is it? Were you the only prisoner who didn't go to watch the show? Well, no, there was one other who didn't. Am I right in thinking that this person couldn't have watched the show even if he wanted to? Yes. How did you... I had my suspicions when we first ran into that black dog yesterday, but this confirms it. For a criminal that dangerous to end up in a place like this is unbelievable. But where is this person's cell? You're going to see him? Who are we talking about here? Him. He's not like the other prisoners, you know. He's special. He gets treated like royalty. But you didn't hear that from me. All I'll say is, if you value your life, you'll stay well away from him. What? Will you please stop trying to scare us all the time? Big cheese, huh? Well, I, for one, definitely value my life, so that sucks. They keep him in maximum security. Which is over there. Maximum security. That's certainly one way of treating someone differently. Alright, quit being so mysterious and tell us who he is already. Let's just say he's highly skilled when it comes to people's lives. Better than anyone, in fact. And, that's all I'm prepared to say on the subject. In fact, I may have already said too much. Well, Milesy, anything you care to share, or are you going to leave Kay and I in the dark here, too? The mystery man, maximum security, is an old acquaintance. Let's go pay him a visit. I suspect we'll find our dark canine friend there, too. Cracks. And he's like the only one that's in there? Wow, it's pitch black in there. I can't see a thing. But didn't you say the Itagarasu takes flight even in the dead of night or something? even in the depths of night, when no other bird dares to take flight. One alone soars to shine the light of righteousness on the world's blight. And that one is me, for I am the great thief Yatagarasu. Whoa, you are one powerful performer. Thanks, but that doesn't help me see in the dark. I'm a human, not a three-legged raven. Eek! Ah! Certain. That voice, I knew it. It has been too long. You remember me? I could hardly forget now, could I? After all, you are the one who put me away. Mr. Edgeworth? Are you talking to that dog? Or is there someone else in there? Still can't see a dang thing. Oh, but I am forgetting myself. Forgive me, I do not often receive visitors. One moment, I will turn on the lights. Oh, ew, look at his head. You are a heavy-footed lot. Am I right in thinking that there are 3 of you in all? Very well. Perhaps we should start by introducing ourselves. I am Bodhiharma. Oh, Bodhiharma. Canis. Bodhikarma. Canis? Because of his dog? I can tell you that was not his name in the original, or the translation. Bodhikarma. Yes. Bodhidharma. Canis. Yeah. Canis. Oh, and his name before was Sirhan Dogan. That's right. Alright. Bodhidharma Canis. As you may have gathered, Mr. Edgeworth and I are old acquaintances. Canis was a notorious assassin. Some knew him as the Blind Butcher. His only weapons were a vicious hunting hound and fearsomely sharp knife. His appearance was always announced by the sound of bells. Last sound his victims would ever hear. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, you might have guessed why you have come to see me. You know why I'm here. In fact, I'm willing to bet you know every detail of this sordid little affair already. I suppose we have nothing to hide from one. Oh, he loves his daddy. Your faithful canine friend is currently the chief suspect in a murder investigation. The person who found the body saw a dog with its mouth around the victim's throat. Your witness is mistaken. Helmet is a good, gentle soul. He is my eyes, nothing more. It is absurd to think that he would do such a thing, isn't it, boy? Yes, it is. You're a good boy, aren't you? Helmet is a mere seeing eye dog, and he's certainly no good boy. He's also a trained killer. A weapon once used in this man's sordid trade. This witness of yours, he is trustworthy, I assume? Oh, it is anything but trustworthy, but he's still very much a suspect himself. I can hardly claim that his testimony is beyond reproach. No. I thought as much. Yes, I did, Helmet. Yeah. It figures that he already knew who our witness was. What were you doing between 8 and 10 a.m. yesterday morning, Mr. Canis? During the show, you mean? I was here, ensconced in humble surroundings. Humble? I've developed a passion for wood carving. See, an obsession even. I was engrossed in all morning. And you have permission to engage in such a hobby? I can't believe someone would actually let you. Ward and I have an understanding. Understanding? That's ridiculous. This man shouldn't be allowed 1, let alone 5 chisels. They're nothing but lethal weapons in his hands. I was carving Buddhist pieces at first, but by the 674th, my interest had begun to wane. Whoa, that must have taken forever. Time is all I have, child. In any case, my focus is now shifted to pieces such as these. I didn't know you played chess. You played too, do you not, prosecutor? Perhaps one day you might indulge me. But you may find my game rather rudimentary. I only began after my arrival here, I'm afraid. What's that piece? A dog with 3 heads? Ah, yes. The dogs of war. You must forgive my little joke. Chess is, after all, a game of war. Soldiers, knights, castles, all doing their utmost to protect the king, all loyal to the last. I have always thought it strange that such a game has no place for a dog. After all, what more loyal weapon could an army call upon? Still, it's simply a piece I made for fun. Fear not, I play by the regular rules, and with the regular pieces. I can't imagine it's easy finding opponents to play here in prison, though. Oh, I have my correspondence. Correspondence chest, then. Sharing moves by post? Yes. Even prisoners are allowed to send and receive letters. Their contents are inspected, of course. Although, I have yet to receive the details of my current opponent's next move. Sounds like this current opponent isn't a resident here. I suppose you know the identity of the deceased, Mr. Canis? His name was Bronco Knight, was it not? Or unfortunate. Keep your ear to the ground. My ears are all I have, Mr. Edgeworth. Why am I not surprised that he's plugged into the prison information network? But perhaps he was not so unfortunate after all. What do you mean? Mr. Knight's crime was a grave one. A crime for which he would have been made to pay dearly anyway. The attempted assassination of a president. That is no small matter. Attempted assassination? Wait, Mr. Edgeworth, didn't Mr. Knight... Yes, we proved that he murdered his team leader and there was no attempt on the president's life. Could it be... Are they attempting to cover up President Wang's fake assassination scheme? Whoa, whoa, whoa there, cowboy. You're saying that the prankster didn't actually have a pop at the prez? I was hired to defend him on the charge of attempted murder. You mean you don't know what really happened? So what, they just blamed the whole assassination thing on Mr. Knight? It would explain why the committee was so keen to get involved. Of course, they took you off the case to try to keep you away. And swapped in that wiener kid to push through an attempted murder charge. In other words, they're trying to cover up the truth. So they really were trying to frame him. According to the guards, this night, was it? They tell me he was violently insistent that he had attempted no assassination. Which would have come out anyway when the case went to trial. I am no expert in legal matters, but allow me to say this one thing. I know for certainty that he would not have been the first inmate in prison on false pretenses. An uncomfortable fact, but a fact nonetheless. Yes, Helmet, yes it is. Yes. The courtroom is not always the bastion of truth you believe it to be, Mr. Edgeworth. No bastion of truth, huh? I've heard something to that effect before. Yes, from a certain Interpol agent who doesn't have much faith in prosecutors. You're not twisting the truth behind these closed courtroom doors too, are you? Fueled by that kind of thinking. Is it any wonder that courts produce nothing but falsities and lies? Sorry, but the truth doesn't need the likes of you to distort it today. I never was able to fully dispel his mistrust of prosecutors. Even Helmet understands, don't you, Helmet? Yes, you do. The truths revealed in court in your deductions. It is dangerous to trust either implicitly, even if he's in his daddy. But I am not bitter. You are not the first to be the subject of unfounded suspicions in recent days. In fact, I was visited by another prosecutor only yesterday. He was accompanied by a judge. They even dragged the warden along, heard his taste for me lingering unspoken in the air. Not those two again. Prosecutor Winter and Judge Gavale. They went over my cell with a fine-tooth comb, but they left improvement. They were looking for the murder weapon, I believe, to no avail. But I mustn't take it personally. Rumor has it they researched every cell in the prison and still failed to find what they were looking for. I pray they weren't too disappointed. That posed more questions than it answered. What do we do now? Oh, it's testimonies from the best. More proper evidence. I want to take Canis on. Well, I think that's quite a chit-chat for one day. Helmet. Helmet will show you out. Good boy, Helmet. Go on now. He's not showing us out permanently, right? Let's get out of here. Come on. Until next time, Mr. Canis. It does pain me that our brief time must end, just as we were becoming reacquainted. I await your return, Mr. Edgeworth. She's on the rock. Now the other evidence. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth! That's the best hiding spot she could find. It's alright, Kay. You can come on down now. Where's Fender? He ran off somewhere. I had no idea he could move that fast. Fender. So what do we do now? You and I will continue the investigation. Let's start by solving that one particular mystery that's been dogging us this whole time. Knight's body was found in prison workshops, but he was presumably being detained in one of the detention center's holding cells. So how did he wind up on the other side of those heavy security doors? Let's start by investigating the holding cells. And Mr. Knight's room, right? But, what about Mr. Fender? I'm sure he'll find us when he's ready. Sure, but he's kind of our boss, isn't he? Well, March 28th. Okay, type it out faster, please. Victim cell is just over there. Lead the way, Mr. Edgeworth. I have just about had it. Who's that? Warden Lagarde. She must have come from the corridor marked no entry. He's still not talking, ma'am? Even with the evidence you borrowed from the precinct? No, and I've tried so many times I've lost count. What am I supposed to do? I can't send in a blank report. I guess a killer for hire was always going to be a tough nut to crack. Killer for hire? Oh! I couldn't help overhear you, Warden Lagarde. But were you just talking about Bodhidharma Canis? Bodhidharma Canis? My, you were listening. How very gauche of you. The girl's privacy is her armor, you know. Do you normally conduct interrogations of the man yourself? Oh, it's not just him, darling. I try to have the occasional tete-a-tete with everyone, you see. That's what it means to be a member of the family in this little home of ours. There isn't a person who hasn't made the pilgrimage to my office at least once. Office? Sweet, he's angling for an invite. Well, I suppose it is the hottest ticket in town. It's down this corridor here, darling. But FYI, I don't let just anybody wander in willy-nilly. Let's see. That would put it right around here. It's a wonderful room, if I do say so myself. All my guests rave about it. Who wouldn't want a view of my fabulous garden and the yard? Ooh la la! Yard? If it's anything like the rest of the place, it's probably full of adorable animals, right? Can I see? God, we're just adding and adding to this bloody map. Oh, darling, it's so sweet of you to take an interest, but I'm afraid that's just not possible. Why not? Because you're not a member of our home. If you want to see it that badly, you'll just have to get convicted for doing something unspeakable. That's a rather steep price to pay. Oh, but listen to me. Just listen to me, chattering away like there's no tomorrow. It's time for Allie's lunchy brunch. Poor dear will be dying. Allie. The sweetest little deer in all the world. I know I shouldn't have favorites, but now to the yard with me. Ciao and for now, darlings. To ask for more about Canis, but she dominated that conversation from start to finish. Let's go investigate the victim's cell, shall we? At least they got a special wall for the... This is Knight's cell. When do you think he was brought in, Mr. Edgeworth? It would have had to have been the evening of the 25th, just after the events of the lake. Then at some point... Copper. Must be some evidence here that will point us into the right direction. Alright, let's get it. Scour the scene. There's something different about this spot here. This part of the floor is weirdly clean. Did somebody wipe it down or something? Why would somebody only do the part right next to the bed, though? Hey, look, the newspaper's got a chunk of it missing. You're right, a few of its pages have been roughly torn out. But why? Maybe Mr. Knight wanted to clean his cell, but didn't have a cleaning cloth? That's not a totally implausible theory, I suppose. Who would try to clean their cell? Must be Mr. Knight's suit jacket. So I've been doing some research of my own. Oh, and what have you discovered? I've discovered that guys who look good in suits tend to be popular with the ladies. But don't worry. Guys with frilly neck ruffles are next on my research list. Please stop. What? Connect the two. This part of the floor has been wiped clean. Maybe he spilled some grape juice? Who knows, but we can certainly imagine what he used to do the wiping. The torn out pages of that newspaper. Why wouldn't he just ask a guard for a cloth or something? Perhaps he didn't want anyone to see what he was wiping up. I must scour the scene. I got these books. A Second Chance at Life. Interview with a former prisoner. Making money while serving time. You'll Laugh Tomorrow, an anthology. Understanding Animal Emotions. Life as a Pet Stylist. 200 Days to Freedom, an escape story. All 3 volumes. What the hell? Menu? This is a weird piece of paper. There's some sort of grid on it. Let's take a closer look. What next? Rook. No. Pond. That's it. What am I supposed to do here? The white floor. Next, examine the table. Examine the sheet of paper. It looks like chess notation. Deduced from Candace's dog chess piece. This chess game. I've seen it before. Enough with the chess chat, Mr. Edgeworth. We're supposed to be investigating here. Focus! I am investigating. This particular bit of chess chat could prove to be vital. Now, take a look at this. Can you tell me what it is? The chess set we saw in Mr. Candace's cell. But, I don't really know the rules of chess, so... The rules of the game are not important. What is important are the positions of the pieces. Compare the ones in Mr. Candace's cell with these. Ah, I don't know which piece is which or anything, but if you turn the diagram like this, there are pieces of the same squares. Indeed. There's no dog on the diagram, but that's to be expected. Apart from that, however, the positions of the pieces are identical. Ah, what does that tell us? Oh, I have my correspondence. As unlikely as it may seem. As unlikely as it might seem. Yeah, there are typos like crazy in this game. Holy. Mr. Candace's chess opponent was Mr. Knight? This could just the proof we need to show that Mr. Candace had a connection to the victim. Okay, what is this? Ooh, what's a menu doing here, Mr. Edward? That those held in the detention center are able to choose what they'd like to eat each day. If they can afford it, that is. It makes the world go round, I guess. Doesn't that make life super easy for rich detainees? Well, okay, bear in mind that the people held in these cells haven't been found guilty yet. Some of them don't deserve to be punished. Quite a few of them, in fact. So you're saying it's fine that people with money don't have as hard a time as everyone else? Practices of detention. Reflected in the mirror is a security camera. Great thief's greatest enemy. Nothing about this place is very thief-friendly, if I'm being honest. I think that might be entirely deliberate, okay? Guard! I'd like you to retrieve the footage from the security camera and review it as carefully as you can. If you see anything out of the ordinary, inform me immediately. Yes, sir. Complete. You made significant progress by establishing a connection between Mr. Canis and the victim. This is bad, sir. The guard? The security camera footage. I watched it and... What is it? Can you show it to us? Yes, sir. I have a small playback monitor with me. And what are you waiting for? Let's see it. What the hell? What? That black thing. That dog, right? Until now, our assumption was that the crime had taken place inside the prison proper. But it seems that assumption may have been wrong. Knight had actually been attacked in this location. Why?
Take that!
Right here in the detention center. And the perpetrator was indeed Mr. Canis' dog. This is just the evidence we need. And if this is where Knight was actually murdered, the evidence we found here, the cell takes on a whole new meaning. Knight's cell was the crime scene, which piece of evidence takes on new whatever. The floor of Knight's cell was wiped clean, presumably to remove something. That something had been his blood. Thank you, officer. Would you mind doing me one more favor? Name it, sir. There's a detective by the name of Gumshoe somewhere in this facility. I need you to give him a message. Tell him to have this cell tested for traces of blood and report the results to Edgeworth. You got it, sir. Can you just call him yourself? You have a cell phone. Unless they confiscated it. Now we can really go after that Canis guy, right, Mr. Edward? No, not yet. Still don't know how Knight and the dog moved between his cell and the prison proper. That's what we need to figure out next. Oh, I can't play back. Right, so that's what we need to figure out next. What's the play, coach? Where are we off to? I suspect one of the guards might know something. We should ask those posted nearby, see what they have to tell us. God, there's still so much left in this part. This is a long part, damn. Bars. Okay, time to get asking, huh? Thanks for the tour. Later. Look who it is. Look, it's him. It's that guy, Agent Lang. Well, Mr. Prosecutor and his little friend. I didn't expect to run into you here. Must be my lucky day. This is Agent Shilong Lang of Interpol. He was in charge of a case I worked on 2 weeks back. I thought he'd gone home to Shangfa after that, but here he is. You had some business to take care of, I take it, Agent Lang. You could say that. Nothing that need concern you, though. First a black hound, now a wolf in all black. Hey, wait, why are you all alone today? It's true. It's usually accompanied by an army of police officers. I hear you were at it again a couple days back, sticking your nose into things. Actually, I had thought you might be there as well, heading up the security detail. The president doesn't have much faith in the efficacy of his own police force. Maybe now he'll think twice before using contractors again. Amateurs. Agent Lang doesn't have much faith in prosecutors or the courts to do their jobs right. That's why he's so meticulous about investigating with his hand-picked cream of a crop officers. Indeed, no doubt things would have turned out differently had you and your men been in charge. My men, huh? Yeah, those guys aren't around anymore. What? They're not. It's funny, isn't it? I'm a real lone wolf now.
What are you saying, Agent Lang? What on earth happened? George, it doesn't concern you.
See you around, Mr. Prosecutor. Wow, he seemed not okay. Yes, and I'd very much like to know why, but there's nothing we can do about it right now. We'll worry about Agent Lang later. We have an investigation. Alright, let's start by talking to these guards. Oh man, I'm in so much trouble. What's the matter? You seem perturbed. Oh, well, you see, one of my uniforms is missing. I could have sworn it was right here in my locker. Did it grow a pair of legs and run off somewhere? What in the world did that idea spring from? Anyway, I hope you track it down soon. I'll be rooting for you. Thanks, I appreciate it. There's a assortment of trophies in here. Just the ones I want to give someone a trophy. What sort of award would a great thief hand out? Greatest rope escape, of course. Oh, but if I enter the contest, then it just turned into me handing myself the trophy to myself. I'd worry more about finding a venue willing to do such an event. I was wondering, have you seen an enormous black dog wandering around here recently? That thing? No way. If I had, I'd... Well, let's just say I'd be a lot more nervous about standing guard here. So, do you and this dog have some kind of history or something? No, okay. You should know when to let sleeping dogs lie. By the sound of it, Candace's dog spotted on the side of those heavy security doors. Hey! Are those my faithful assistants I see before me? Yeah, and where the hell have you been? Fender. And where exactly have you been? Where have I been? I've been looking for you two. Been searching high and low. Wandering lonely. I'm moving on. Through the prison halls. It was terrible, I tell ya. But the prison's over there on the other side of the facility, boss. So listen, I just got the lowdown on some seriously dynamite material. You want to hear it, right? Right? Seamless. I was chatting with a few of the guards and they told me something très intéressant. Turns out, the Bronxster had himself a little incident 2 days ago. Pre-mortem, if you catch my drift. An incident? Simeon told you he came to visit his pal, right? Well, it happened right after they'd wrapped up, when Bronco was being escorted back to his cell. It was just one guard and he was handcuffed, obs. They made it back to the guard, and the guard's taken off, and the Bronxster clobbered him. Knocked the poor guy out cold. Sounds like it might have been in the prelude to a jailbreak. When the other guards showed up, they couldn't find their comrade's keys. Were there any rumblings about Knight attempting an escape? That's the bit that fries the old noggin. There were none. He just sat in his cell, then turned up dead. And what's more, he swore right to the end that he never stole the keys. He turned his cell inside out too, but no dice. The guard who was struck, what did he have to say? Nothing. The poor guy was still out when they took him to the hospital. Word is, he's still there. So there's nobody around to tell us what really happened? What the? It's you losers. That's all we know. Oh, and of course she's here. Why are you still hanging around here like a bad smell? Hey there, little buddy. Listen, Miles here is working with me now as an associate. Nonsense. You're all just here to cause trouble and to turn my investigation into a fart. Eustace means farce, of course. A simple slip of the tongue. Seemed like a reasonably apt choice of words to me. Judge Gavale, great to see you again. You are Simeon Saint's attorney. Discharged. Now that we've broken the ice, how about a friendly? Or not. I'm totally cool either way. She's gonna bust that ass. Now, did I hear you correctly that Mr. Edgeworth has joined the defense team? Yep, and me too. We're officially employees of Edgeworth & Co. But a prosecutor is a public servant. You would draw your sword on the goddess to work for personal gain? It's not a problem if I'm not getting paid, though, correct? Exactly what he said. Miles here is just a volunteer. We're all about the pro bono stuff over Edgeworth & Co. How wonderful. So you all work without reward. The goddess would surely have... yeah. I'm a regular philanthropist. Judge Gavale, I was hoping to ask about the grounds for Simeon Saint's arrest. That information? Is that a challenge I hear? No, I was just asking Judge Gavale. That is a little... I'm always ready for a little verbal combat to show you what it takes to be a real winner. Verbal combat, if you want me to speak. Peaceful. Fine, we'll do as you suggest. Now, if you could begin by telling us why Mr. Saint was arrested. There will be no need for that, Eustace. Not now, Gavale. Watch and wonder. As I put this pathetic prosecutor in his place, he's gonna run rings around me. I think he meant to say that you would be the one running rings around. And I will, so badly that your ears will be ringing. Prepare to be humbled, Edgeworth. You want to know why I arrested that man? It's simple. Simple! I found evidence of him all over that thing. How's that for some winningly incontrovertible, conclusive proof? Who saw the truth first? Why, me, of course. Winner by name, winner by nature. Oh, this guy is something else. I just wanna trip him. You know that thing where like someone like bends down behind him and you just kind of like give him a push over top of him? Where do I even begin? Look at you, utterly lost for words in the face of such mastery. I'll take your silence as yet another win. Honestly, does he ever shut up? You said that you were the one who arrested Mr. Saint. Did you even have the authority to do so, Mr. Winter? Well, obviously it was the police who actually arrested him. But I told them to do it, so I think I can claim the credit, don't you? Of course that's clearly gonna take a while. A shame, really. Given that I'm much more interested in what Judge Gavale is silently thinking over there. Yeah, can you, like, recall your little yapper dog, please?
Hold it!
Wanna get me more than that? Evidence of him was all over that thing? Could you be a little more specific, Mr. Winter? Do I really have to spell it out for you, Edgeworth? I had hoped even you could put 2 and 2 together. Stop messing around. The onus is on you to provide a comprehensible testimony. Come now, Eustace. I'm sure Mr. Edgeworth and his friends will be very interested to learn how you cracked the case. They certainly don't care about it. Fine, if you insist, I'll fill in the gaps. Brace yourselves, because this is gonna blow your tiny little minds. I bet you didn't even know, but the victim had, wait for it, a chess set with him. And that chess set was covered in the fingerprints of a certain Mr. Simeon Saint. Praise be to the goddess of justice for the insight she offers, and congratulations once again, Eustace. You would not object to Eustace amending his testimony, I trust, Mr. Edgeworth? No, by all means, please do.
Objection!
Objection! So, the fingerprints on the chess set are the ace up your sleeve? The what up my what? The what up my what? What up my... Oh, yes, that chess set up the ace's sleeve. That's right, That's right, Edgeworth. I've got a winning hand, as usual. Only your winning hand is a busted flush. For you see, it was Simeon Saint who brought that chess set to the victim in the first place. Therefore, it's only natural that his fingerprints are all over it. Huh? That took a while to sink in. In conclusion, those fingerprints aren't proof of anything. Mr. Saint's arrest was premature. Premature. The incident took place here within the walls of this facility, and being neither a guard nor a prisoner, it makes very little sense to suspect Mr. Saint. Oh! Now what? I think you might be the premature one here, Edgeworth. And I think you were the one accusing me of being hasty. Can you only just work out what that word means? Sure, I identified Mr. Saint as a suspect faster than pretty much anybody else. And I won the race when it came to picking out the crucial evidence, too. I'm quick on the draw, you see. But hasty? Not at all. You're right that Mr. Saint isn't a guard or a prisoner here. He was. Eustace. Judge Gavale. Cut out, Gavale. I have him right where I want him. Forgive me, Eustace, but if I may... While the particulars of the suspect are indeed fascinating, don't we have something a little more impressive to share with the prosecutor? Something more impressive. If you wouldn't mind, Mr. Edgeworth. Eustace made an ingenious deduction concerning the murder weapon. Perhaps you would like to hear it? Yes, of course, that. Oh, remember, listen to this, Edgeworth, and prepare to be amazed.
Objection!
Will this ingenious deduction explain why Mr. Saint was arrested? Let's just say you won't be disappointed. Judge Gavale deliberately diverted the conversation away from my line of questioning. What exactly is she up to? Whereabouts of the murder weapon? Fact 1. The murder weapon was some sort of metal blade. Fact 2. Potentially deadly blades are strictly controlled within the prison walls, as we both know. From these two facts, I concluded that the weapon in question must have come from the outside. It must have been hidden inside the chess set. That's what I think. And since the only prints we found on the chess set belonged to the victim and the suspect, I'd say it's blindingly obvious who brought the weapon in and used it, wouldn't you? I mean, there's logic there. If nothing else, his testimony this time is a little more comprehensible than the last. Another winning deduction brought to you by one winner, Eustace. A winner, comma, Eustace. Prosecutor extraordinaire. More like one winner, comma, useless prosecutor extraordinaire. But how could anyone even hide a weapon inside that chess set? Good question. Why don't you take a look for yourselves? Inside the chessboard? I suppose there's only one way to find out. Nothing in here but chessboard. That laugh is really something. I was pretty convinced the weapon was hidden in here somewhere. I'd better take a closer look. What? Stiff lining at the top looks like a flap door. Whoa, there's plenty of room in here. Indeed, more than enough to hide something like a small knife. Ingenious, no? The killer snuck the weapon in.
Objection!
Ha? What do you mean, ha? Let me finish, will you? I fear you've not been listening, Mr. Winner, or perhaps you've simply forgotten. The detention center is outfitted with a security gate. Huh? I mean, yeah, and? The security gate also acts as a metal detector, Eustace. You must pass through another one on the way into the prison itself, remember? Aha, yes, that's right. Of course I remember. Definitely do. It would have been impossible to smuggle a metal blade through such a gate and into the facility. Which would seem to blow a rather large hole in your reasoning, Mr.
Overruled!
Her voice is so husky. Overruled.
That gate is only used to scan people. Any items they bring into the facility are also subjected to a cursory check. Are you telling me that the chess set wasn't put through a metal detector? It should have been. Alas, it seems the guards have grown a little lax in that regard of late. Are you serious? Fucking idiots. Very good. Thank you, good Belle. It was my pleasure. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, if you would be so kind as to begin your cross-examination. It's like she's holding a trial. Well, no matter. Let's see how well this ingenious deduction of Mr. Winner's holds up, shall we?
Hold it!
Hold it! But no murder weapon was found at the crime scene. There's nothing inside the chessboard either. I'm curious, Mr. Winner. Do you also have thoughts about where this weapon might be? Well, the perpetrator must have hidden it somewhere in the prison. Is there a problem with this claim? There's always a problem. They hid it somewhere inside the prison? That seems unlikely. In fact, I can prove that's not the case. Evidence of this murder weapon is hiding somewhere in the prison.
Take that!
I'm starting to worry about your memory, Mr. Winner. Didn't you and the good judge search the prison with Warden Lagarde? And didn't you fail to find a likely murder weapon? Well, yes, but I guess we just missed it, that's all. Wow, way to undermine yourself. You're saying your search wasn't entirely thorough? You, the so-called winning rookie. Stop making fun of me! Eustace. Calm yourself. Breathe deeply. Do not allow your opponent to get under your skin. You're right. I'm a winner. Why should I let a third-rate loser like Edgeworthless get under my skin? My name out of this? Well, I'm Kay Faraday, and I'm A-OK. Not you two, please. Look, it's simple. Since my first-rate investigation didn't turn up any weapon, it means there wasn't one to find, which leaves only one possibility. The murderer took the weapon with him when he left the prison. That's why we couldn't find it when we looked. Obvious. But what you are proposing is impossible. This proves why the culprit couldn't possibly have taken the weapon out of the prison with them. I have no bloody clue.
Take that!
More memory trouble, Mr. Winner? Now you're forgetting things you yourself said. Are you making fun of me again? Oh, so you remember what I said? But perhaps you might have been better served by remembering this. What's that? Does he seriously not remember? It would certainly seem that way. There is a security gate at each of the entrances to the detention center and the prison proper. Coming from the prison, anyone leaving the facility would have had to have passed through both of them. 2 gates, both fitted with metal detectors. Oh, wait! Now I remember! Looks like he got his memory back. Okay, so this kid seriously has short-term memory loss, or he just, you know, is a 17-year-old and doesn't fucking listen. There's no 17-year-old in the world that actually pays attention to every conversation. Be real. So, as you can see, there's no way anyone could have taken a weapon out through both gates. And therefore, there is no way the murder weapon could have left the building. In which case, Mr. Edgeworth, perhaps you would care to tell us where you think the murder weapon might be? It's still here on the premises. That's the only plausible conclusion to be drawn. But we searched the prison from top to bottom and couldn't find anything. Because you were never going to find anything to begin with. Not when you were laboring under the misconception that it's a blade you were looking for. Yeah, we know the truth about what happened, Mr. Knight. We've seen it with our own eyes. That is quite a claim. I assume you have the evidence to support it. What is the weapon that was used to commit the crime? Take a look at this charge conveyor, and the weapon used in this case will become clear.
Take that!
This is footage taken from a security camera trained on Knight's holding. Now watch it for yourselves and see. Just like a guard. Oh, do it again. What? That's what happened. Oh. This footage captures the moment the victim was attacked by a black dog. More than sufficient proof of how he really died, wouldn't you say? Yes, it is certainly significant. So now we know that Knight was in fact killed in his cell by a vicious dog. A dog that moved the victim's body to the prison workshop post-mortem. We know this thanks to an eyewitness who saw the dog in the workshop when the body was discovered. Of course, I think we can agree that there's no way the dog could have planned such a crime itself. Indeed, I fear it may be his handiwork.
Overruled!
Overruled. It's such a husky voice. I need to figure out who that is. That's quite enough of that, Mr. Edgeworth. Judge Gavale, you are correct that this footage is an important piece of evidence. But it also raises an important new question. A question that I suspect you have been asking yourself. Which is why there's one major problem with my version of events. The black dog, the one that belongs to one of the inmates. How did it move between the holding cells and the prison proper at will? Oh. How do we answer that one, Mr. Edgeworth? The truth is, I don't know yet. Of course not. Can it, Wonder Boy? You didn't even notice there was a problem.
Overruled.
Until the defense provides an adequate explanation, the court cannot accept your line of logic. That is all. This court is adjourned. But wait, there's so much more to explore.
Overruled.
The court is no longer in session, Mr. Edgeworth. If you would be so kind as to leave the courtroom. The court was never in session in the first place. Once again, this court is adjourned.
Objection!
You may not have all the answers yet, but you haven't explained anything either regarding Mr. Saint. What do you mean? Just as we don't yet know how the dog made it into one of the detention center's holding cells, you can't know how Mr. Saint could have made it inside the detention center, let alone the prison either. He would have been allowed as far as the visitor's room to see his friend, but no further. So it's hard for me to conceive how he could have committed a crime in a place he had no access to. Judge Gavale, I believe it's your turn to provide some proof. Proof that Simeon Saint was able to enter the prison.
Overruled.
You wish for the court to provide you with proof? Highly irregular, but very well. What? You actually have something? Now seems like as good a time as any. And I suppose you have been kind enough to share your own theories on the case. She continued. Mr. Edgeworth, I suspect you don't know what Mr. Saint does for a living, so allow me to fill you in. He is a circus performer. A what? Yes, perhaps you've heard of the very big circus. Ugh. Oh, don't be silly, darling. Of course I was. Yesterday was a very important day, after all. Important in what way exactly? A big meeting of some kind, perhaps? A meeting? Oh, heavens, no. I couldn't think of anything worse. No, yesterday the circus came to visit. You see it now, I assume. As I am sure you are aware, a show was held yesterday for the prisoners' entertainment. A show featuring animals and performers, performed by members of the very big circus. So, does that mean Mr. Saint? Yes, Mr. Saint was allowed inside the prison as part of that show. A fact that has been confirmed beyond reasonable doubt. She held on to that fact until the last possible moment. Let me run my own theory, and only afterwards did she use it to reveal the truth. Let out, Gavale. I have him right where I want him. Forgive me, Eustace, but if I may, while the particulars of the suspect are indeed fascinating, would we have something a little more impressive to share with the prosecutor? That must be why she steered him onto a different topic back then, too. I got you good, didn't I, you third-rate prosecutor? This has nothing to do with you. Gentlemen, this court is well and truly adjourned. If I may offer a word of advice, Mr. Edgeworth, your conduct as a prosecutor is already in question. You would do well to remember that you were removed from this case for that precise reason. What are you trying to say? That the committee reserves the right to confiscate your badge at any time. Should you wish to retain it, you would do well to avoid crossing paths with us again. Is that a threat? The goddess of justice is compassionate, Mr. Edgeworth, but she is not endlessly forgiving. Oh, and one last thing. You are no defense attorney. Abandon this foolish pretense. Thank you for your concern. But I do not abandon anything. What I start, I finish. Well, you try to remember that the two jobs are not one and the same. And that a defense attorney is expected to develop something more of a bond with their client. Next time, finding out your client's real occupation might be a good place to start. Goddess. Now, I really must be going. May the goddess of justice watch over you all. Ooh, she had you all figured out, didn't she? The bitch? Those Simeon lied to us. Not just you two. Guy took me for a ride too. What's his deal? Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're not having second thoughts about all this, are you, Milesy boy? Sure, Judge Gavale is one tough cookie, but that doesn't mean you can just give up the ghost. The defense never rests, as a wise man once said, and that goes for associates too. Don't worry, Fender. I have no intention of resting. Nevertheless, our assumption that Mr. Saint couldn't have entered the prison has been proven false. Which means we'll need to restart our investigation from square one, I'm afraid. To be continued. Okay, that was a long one, bitch. 2 hours and it's gonna be 21 minutes by the time I wrap this outro up. I'm gonna take a break. Then I'm gonna come back. Then I've got something going on in the evening, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up. That's okay. We're having fun here. Curious to see how all this turns out, because that Gavale is a royal piece of work, right? Anyway, that is the Captive Turnabout Part 2. There are 2 more parts in this one. Don't miss out. Anyway, thanks for hanging out.